Every night you disappear, and every morning something brings you back. You lie down, you close your eyes, and at some point, you, the person hearing this, with your name, your worries, your memories, completely dissolves. You are gone. No world, no thoughts, no you. And then in the morning, you say four ordinary words that should be impossible. I slept well. Stop and look at that. When you say I slept well, you are reporting an experience in which you were not present in. You, as the waking ego, with your name and with this identity. Who slept well? Who was there to know? The ancient rishis of India asked exactly this question thousands of years ago. And what they found is that everything you call you moves through not three states of consciousness but four. You have lived in the three of them your whole life. The fourth, almost no one has ever been shown. By the end of this video, you will properly understand where you actually go when you sleep and what actually stays back and stays quiet. And once you understand the subtle truth of this video, you will never look at who you are the same ever again. So let's first start with the state that you know the best, that you are in right now. That is the waking state, that is level 1. Now, this is something that all of us can easily understand. This is where you are in right now. This is you with your name, with your identity, with your accumulations, your job description, your financial status, your relationships, all put together. It is the world that you live in and the world you're familiar with. In this state, your attention is pointed outward. It looks real, but it is not the whole picture. Here, you're engaged with the senses, right? Seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touch. And with all that, you are immersed in this matrix, in Maya. And you crave for experiences, you crave for achievements, and so many things as humans do. You think this is your entire world, and this is actually the ultimate reality. But soon, as the sun goes down and as you go to your bed and you close your eyes, you step into a completely different room with a completely different set of laws and a world that is really strange compared to this one. And that is the dream state, or as they call it in Upanishads, swapna. And in the dream, your mind becomes the entire universe. Your mind projects its own world, its own environment, and it places you as a character within it, and you experience an entire reality of your own. And here's how it happens. Every single thing you have ever seen, wanted, feared, or done leaves a residue in the mind, a seed. We call this karma. And your karma is quite literally dreaming itself back to life. You are not watching the dreams, but you are generating it. Now, falling asleep is not about switching off, it is about switching inward. All the sense organs are active, but they are focused inward, because even within the dreams, you experience hotness and coldness and taste and touch, because sometimes dreams are very, very real. As real as we experience things in the waking world. So senses are still active at a subtle level. And in this world, we are a dream ego. There is a identity that we carry there with which we experience different instances in the dream world. This is the level 2 of reality that we come to from level 1. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, one of the oldest Upanishads, speaks about the dreamer and the dream state directly. It says, no external world reaches him, yet a full world appears. Now, it's because it happens to everyone, and it is because it's so familiar, we just never question it. But dreams are very strange in how they occur, right? It's like we are experiencing a completely different simulated reality. And this is one of the strangest things that happened to me when I went to sleep and when I was dreaming once. I walked into a room and there was a mirror, and I remember vaguely looking at the mirror, and the person who was staring back was not me, was not this face that you can see right now. And it was very strange and weird. And that's actually what happens in dream. Many times in dream, we are not the same person as we are right now. We sometimes assume a totally different character, and we experience strange things as though they are real. Now, the entire dream world, while you were inside the dream, you never once doubted it. But once you wake up, you say it was just a dream. But just imagine this with me. Just imagine that you are in a dream right now. You're within a dream. And when you are within the dream, the reality is very real to you. You don't question it. You just assume it to be true. Only when you step out of it, only when you wake up in the morning, you say it was a hallucinated lower reality. Now, this is what the ancient rishis ask us. What is to say, even this world is as real as we assume it to be? What if even this world, this waking reality, is also a projection, a maya, a dream of sorts? Now, this might be mind bending and it might be very difficult to grasp, but there is a very deep truth to this statement. But before we explore that, let us go to the next level of reality, that is level 3, that is the deep sleep state, or Sushupti. This is also something that each and every one of us experience every single day. This is the state of pure bliss, pure awareness. There is absolutely no experience here, there is no duality here, there is no subject object split, there is absolute blankness. This is where it feels like you have slept for a few minutes. You've just closed your eyes and you've gone into complete blankness, and you just open your eyes and you feel like just a few minutes have passed, or maybe a few hours, and the entire night would have passed. This is the deep sleep state, which nourishes the body, which nourishes the mind, which calms us down, and which energizes us. Here, there is no one called you. There is nothing called you. There is nothing that you remember from the state. There is no experience that you remember from the state. But yet, you know that you are the one who is going through this. No world, no thoughts, no name, no time, absolute stillness. The deepest peace a human touches. And you seek this every night. But then something strange happens. You wake up in the morning and say, I slept well. I knew nothing. You remember no experience from this state. There was absolute blankness. But still, inherently, you say, I experienced deep sleep. I slept well. There is a very subtle nuance to why we say this. And that has everything to do with what this reality actually is about. You cannot bring back a report from a room you never entered, which means something in you did not sleep. There was a dimension within you which was present even during that deep sleep, where there was apparent blankness. And if you have stayed till here, what we cover next makes everything clear. With this, we need to come to level 4, that is Turiya, or consciousness. Now think about this. You have known all these 3 states. The waking state, where you have a career, a relationship, and you live your life. Then the dream state, where you have different experiences. Then the deep sleep state, where there was absolute blankness. And see that they all changed. But something in you was present in and through all these 3 states. That is what we need to understand to truly grasp the nature of reality. That is what the ancient rishis discovered after thousands and thousands of years of search and self-inquiry and tapas. That there is a dimension within each and every one of us that is infinitely powerful, that is truly limitless, that is in and through all these 3 states. And when we understand that, and when we tap into that, and when we begin to operate from that, our life will completely change. So before we cover that more, let's quickly understand the progression here. This is what happens when you go to sleep every single day. The waking ego, the person who is awake, completely vanishes. His name, his identity, his properties, his relationships are no longer there. It's as if everything has been wiped off of our memory. And based on our impressions and karmic patterns, we project a completely different reality that we call the dream world, and we experience strange things in dreams as dreams, and we live that reality as though it is real. And strangely, in one way, it is the same person who was awake that has experienced the dream state also, because you feel like you are experiencing the dream. But at the same time, it is a completely different person who doesn't remember who he was when he was awake many a times. And then after a while, after dreaming, we go deeper into deep sleep state where there is absolute stillness, complete blankness, where we are completely asleep, where we don't remember anything, where the sense of time and space completely vanish. And then, like a miracle, suddenly we are awake and we come back to this waking state. And after the day passes, again we go back to the deep sleep. But almost no one understand the real state, the real truth behind and beyond these three states. That is what the Upanishads call Turiya, the infinite consciousness, the spirit. Waking comes and goes, dream comes and goes, sleep comes and goes, and everything keeps changing. Everything with respect to experiences keep changing. But who doesn't change? It is you yourself, not you as the person who you believe you are, not you as a name and as a form, as the body, but you, the real you, the soul, the consciousness. That is the real you, which is the common denominator among all these three states, and that is the fourth, the Turiya. Ultimately, this teaching tells us that we are not the body. If we were actually the body, then the deep sleep state should have been impossible. We are also not the mind, because mind is completely asleep and it is silent and it is completely inactive during the deep sleep state. But still we exist, and that understanding, when you truly grasp it, changes everything. If you truly understand that you are beyond the body and mind, you let go of all fears, all frustrations, all attachments, because every fear, every pain happens at the level of body and mind. But for the soul, for consciousness, there is nothing that can touch it.